some of you who... Oh, I think I'm too low. I'll stand up. Hi. So some of you who are my longer term viewers, you might know that I've been, well, I haven't been, but there's been some restorations done in the house where I live. So yeah, the pictures and stuff still have to be hung up, and yeah, but it's getting very, very close. Now this is a video that I didn't want to have to make because I always wanted to give Serpentza or the consultant the benefit of the doubt, but his comments in his most recent video, they're just revolting. And he has, unfortunately, in my opinion, gone into this very disgraceful area now where he's guilty of inspiring or of generating Asian hate, or specifically Chinese hate. But because a lot of Westerners might not be able to distinguish between someone from China and someone of Chinese descent, nobody can. It's pretty much just Asian hate. He's responsible for Asian hate. And I'm particularly focusing upon comments that he made about corrupt officials driving up property prices in Australia and America. And this was in a recent video of his where he's more or less trying to develop a boycott of Chinese goods. So any claims that he might have had in the past to caring about Chinese people, I think have absolutely been obliterated. And he's doing what he accuses the Chinese of doing, which is conflating trade with other issues. Now, why am I upset with him? His number one claim that I'm upset with is his claim that corrupt officials have been driving up property prices in Western nations. Now, first of all, I want to say that I have been directly a beneficiary of this because members of my family have sold properties for very high prices, and even though I haven't, like, my parents haven't given me any money or anything like that, they've definitely got a bit of money from it. So yeah, I'm someone who's benefited. Anybody who owns a house has benefited. So that's the first thing I'd like to say. But for him to put this idea into people's minds that the Chinese person who is their neighbor, the Chinese person who is walking down the street, that person, the Chinese person driving an Audi, the Chinese person at the golf course in Melbourne, at the yacht club, wherever, the Chinese person who has a couple of dollars in his pocket. The imputation that he or she is a corrupt official is disgusting, and it's racist. The vast majority of Chinese people with money are dynamic business people who have worked so hard to create small fortunes for themselves. It's a wonderful thing. I have met so many incredible Chinese business people, and I have a lot of respect for Chinese people of all different backgrounds and social classes. I don't care if someone has 100 RMB in the bank or 100 million. Like, I've met a lot of wonderful people that I respect from all different walks of life. But the Chinese business guys, the Chinese business people, they are very intelligent people and they work very hard. I want to say to any Australian person watching this, any American person who's watching this, if you see a Chinese guy walking down the street, if you see a Chinese guy in your country, in America or Australia, driving an Audi, please respect that person. Assume that person is a person of integrity, is a hardworking person, is a person that deserves your respect. Do not believe the lie that Serpentza is telling people, that those people are corrupt officials. corruption is a problem. It is a problem in China. Xi Jinping is he's getting into it. You know, it's a tough one. I have never worked in government in China or anything like that, so I don't know what it's like. But I do know that these government people who break the law, they do exist. But let's get very specific. What is his definition of a corrupt government official? Let's go right back. When the government companies, some of the government companies were privatized, and their shares were sold on, let's just look at the New York Stock Exchange. The managers were shareholders, and they were asked to be shareholders in name only. Now, some of them took their vast fortunes and settled in Australia or settled in America. Now, are these people corrupt? Are they corrupt officials? Is that what he's talking about? Who is he talking about? I don't know what he's talking about. Please, if you're living in Australia, if you're living in America, assume that the Chinese people that you know are people of integrity, are people who have worked really, really hard. And Serpentza, or the consultant as I like to call him, because he never admitted to being an English teacher. He called himself a consultant. The consultant is guilty now of trying to create hostility between people who watch his videos and Chinese people in Australia, Chinese people in America. Now, I would like to say to Serpentza, if he's watching this, you can say what you want to say about the people that you know, and you can talk about China, but do not create division in my country. Do not tell Australian audiences that the Chinese people in Australia are corrupt officials. That is wrong. That is wrong. That is wrong. The people who came to China, like yourself, like myself, we know that's wrong. You know that's wrong. You know what you're saying is nonsense. And please refrain from it. Now, any of his fans out there, any of his legion of fans, he's got nearly 1 million subscribers. I want you to know that what he's saying is absolute nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. I'm sure that there's a corrupt mayor or a corrupt judge or a corrupt senior official who has moved to Australia. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. But 99% of the Chinese people in Australia are people of irreproachable character. And when you see them on the street, when you see them driving a car, on a tram, whatever, I want you to respect them, help them, be kind to them, be polite to them, because those people here in China, the Chinese people in China, they have been kind to me, they have respected me, they have helped me. And that's my message to everybody today. And don't believe the hate, don't give in to these fears that people who look different to us, who have a different language or a different culture, that they are evil, that they are corrupt. That is creating hate. That is creating difference. And Serpentza should really, or the consultant, he should be ashamed of himself. He should be ashamed of himself. And when it comes to Australian Chinese people, back off. Back off. You've got no right to talk about Chinese in Australia. You've never been to the country. You've got no association with it. And you don't know what you're talking about. To everybody else, hope you're having a wonderful day. And I'll see you soon. Bike basket out. Bye-bye.